Okay, so people who need to go, originally they should probably go. Those who can stay, I would appreciate it if you can listen to everybody. Thank you.
Very good morning, my fellow Cambodian brothers, sisters, aunt and uncle. So this is a great opportunity for me to stand here and present one of the challenging problems for our country. Daily effective agrochemicals. So agrochemical was first introduced to our country during 1980s following the Green Revolutions. So after that period, agrochemicals such as pesticides, insecticides, fertilizers, and other sort of chemicals that aim to improve the crop yield started to be used extensively across the country. However, this is not a good trend. So in 2008, there are 147 types of fertilizer in the market. 40 to 50 types of them are hazardous, which is vital. It's very dangerous to health. But it's still available on the market. And the reason is because it's being imported illegally to the country through the border from Vietnam and Thailand. But that is not the worst of all. So the worst of all is that those chemicals are instructed in either Thai or Vietnamese language that the Cambodian farmers cannot understand. So you see, the guys down here, his name is Ansang, and he's been he's been using this pesticide to improve his vegetable plantation for years. And he does not understand what it is on the bottle of those pesticides. What he does is to go to those vendors and tell them the situation of his plantation, and then they will give like 5 to 7 types of fertilizers and pesticide. He come back home, mix it, and just spray on his plantations. But as you can see, he was not wearing any protective costume, which exposed himself to a very dangerous chemical substance. And this is not only happened to him. This happens to millions of farmers in Cambodia who do not understand that they are exposing themselves to risk. And I have some vegetable here. It looks so fresh, green, and the lady down there, I think she's buying some grocery, ready to make a delicious meal for her family, her husband, her children, without knowing whether these vegetables are safe to eat or not. Do you think they are safe?
No.
All right. I don't know that they are safe or not, but yeah. But according to the Royal Academy of Cambodia, almost all the vegetable and fruits that are sold on the markets has the chemicals pesticide residue, which is dangerous when consuming this type of vegetable. But it's hard to deny the fact that these agrochemicals have been playing an important role in increasing the rice yield in Cambodia, and for farmers this is a good thing, right? But look at this trend. It also shows that Cambodia farmers is growing more and more heavily dependent on these chemical fertilizers, which is not a very good trend at all if you look at all these effects that it could cause. So for farmers, they could expose themselves to risk of poisoning. Those people who consume vegetable or fruits that have the pesticide residue can have immune system disruption, impaired nervous system, cancer, and more than that. For the environment, of course, we've been talking about how these fertilizer agrochemicals can help increase the fertility of the soil, but instead it is just a short-term consequences. The long-term consequences is the soil degradation, that it could degrade to the point that it cannot be cultivated anymore. And it is the generations to come that would bear this consequence. Water pollutions. So pesticide excess that leach through to the groundwater and then to the open water source, and then the water is polluted. So they cannot use the water anymore for drinking, for cooking, and it's just become dangerous to use. And last of all, like it could really cause eutrophications, where fish population can be in threat. I mean, it could kill the fish population, and the whole aquatic system will be disrupted. So what I'm trying to say here is that we are building ourselves on a very unsustainable agriculture. The one that on the one hand we're trying to increase our crops, but on the other hand we are destroying the world that we depend on. So this has to change. Imagine you are a farmer. Maybe some of us have been a farmer, and you wake up to see something like this. Are you happy? Well, this look, I mean, good enough. You know, maybe 50% of the yield are still able to be harvested, and maybe we can apply more fertilizer and pesticide. Maybe next year we can yield better. After years and years of applications of these kind of chemicals, maybe your great-great-great-grandchildren wake up to this. I mean, you see, this is like the worst consequences of pesticides and fertilizer usage on the land. And who else bear the consequences? It's us all, the consumer of these agricultural products. And I'm speaking here not only for myself, not for you, but for the next generations to come. We have to take responsibility for that. Their future are in our hands, and we have to think critically about how they're going to survive. We cannot undermine their ability anymore to survive in this world. Thank you.